It's a Weasley's Wizarding Wheezes Community Day. I'm Professor Vocus, and this is Harry Potter Wizard Unite.
Hello, Professor. I didn't see you there.
Saturday, August 21st is Community Day. It lasts 24 hours from midnight when the day begins all the way through 11:59 p.m. that night. So you have 24 hours to get all the things done we're about to talk about. First thing I'm going to talk about is the increased foundables. They should be appearing more in the wild, and then Tonic for Trace Detection is supposed to have a greater chance to produce these guys, which is Proprietor Fred and George Weasley, two separate things, Lee Jordan, and then the Puking Pastels display. So again, you'll just be looking for those. There's some tasks revolving around those that we'll talk about in just a little bit. But these guys should be increasing more in the wild, increased spawns in the wild. And then if you use Tonic for Trace Detection, you should see more of these than other things from your Tonic for Trace Detection. In addition, there'll be a guaranteed way to get the Weasley's flying car. It'll be from these special 1 kilometer port keys. They're kind of a teal color, but more of a lighter blue. Not like the last event we just got done with, which those were definitely like a darker blue. This is definitely like a light teal. So anyway, if you do get one of these port keys, it's a guaranteed flying car fragment, and there is a task revolving around that as well, although if you get them in the wild, if you get fragments in the wild, it'll actually count toward that task too. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Just know that the port keys that you see on the ground, they're 1 kilometer, and they give you the Weasley's flying car. In addition, these aren't like the port keys we just got done with. If you still have these when the event ends without a key in it or not, it doesn't matter. You could actually save these. You could load up on these and walk them later if you need the Weasley's flying car and you just want to kind of get those fragments kind of reserved so you can walk them later. Next up, if you use Wonders of the Wizarding World Runestones, the only fragment you'll get from that family is the open skiving snack box. Now, that doesn't mean every time you run a fortress, you'll get one of these. What it means is when you use Runestones normally, you have a certain percentage chance to get a family fragment, like something from Wonders of the Wizarding World in this case, with that particular runestone. So, and then when you get one, usually it's one of them at random, one of the many that it can be. It could be one of those. Well, during this day, the only thing that would drop would be the open skiving snack box. You may also get a challenge foundable from those other pages. You could get one of those drops. But the idea is whenever you use a runestone, you'll get this drop if you do get a drop from the Wonders of the Wizarding World family. And there is a task revolving around that as well, so you're probably going to need to do these if you're wanting to complete the task. During normal times, the only way to have a 100% chance of getting a foundable fragment from one of the wizarding families, from the runestone that you use, is to go into a Dark 5. During this event, like many other events, if you've done these before, now they've changed it to Forest Chamber 4, or higher. If you're in any of those chambers and you use a runestone, you are guaranteed to get a fragment from that family. Now, if there's no guarantee what it's going to be, except for Wonders of the Wizarding World, which would be an open skiving snack box. But any of the other ones, you're not sure what you're going to get, but at least you know you're getting something guaranteed. So most people, you should look into Forest Chamber 4. You'll probably be in there with other people, which is fine. It helps you go quicker. But it also is just going to be less energy, easier to go ahead and beat the fortress, so you can get guaranteed fragments from whatever family you're looking for. So maybe look in your registry, see which family fragments you're missing from fortresses. So many F words. But anyway, do that and maybe run Forest 4 a whole bunch so that you can start to get more of those fragments and maybe fill out those pages. In addition, in fortresses, you're going to get increased wizarding experience, increased challenge experience, and also spell energy, which is nice to help you replenish some of that as you're using it in those fortresses. As per usual, there will be a series of tasks that you can do that day. If you're just looking at just getting some of those foundables to fill out some pages, you can ignore the tasks altogether. They do have rewards obviously associated, but a lot of times for Community Day, there are times when I'm not worried about the task so much because I don't need the rewards. It's more like I'm trying to get that open skiving snack box because I need that last image for that page to prestige that page from bronze to silver, silver to gold, or whatever. But if you are interested in the rewards, in addition to, you'll probably do some of these even if you're not trying to do them, just by returning foundables and that type of thing. These are the tasks here, and here's some of the rewards we can look at. First up is to use Master Notes 4 times. It's going to get you a strong Extimula potion, which definitely are useful for adversaries, as well as for maybe harder to return foundables if you just really want to make sure things don't depart on you. And from a newer player is Using the master notes is after you start brewing that potion. It's to actually enter those notes into the cauldron when you click on the ladle that's in it. You click on that and do the motions to make it brew quicker. So if you haven't done potions a lot and you're wondering, when you click on that ladle, you end up putting those notes in. If you haven't done it before, you're just trying different things out until you master that. You can certainly Google what they are, but it is fun to figure them out on your own. But you could also Google just how it all works if you need to. As opposed to having to actually brew the potions, which means you could have actually brewed all 4 going into Community Day and just collect them, because collecting them is brewing them. This is actually Master Notes, which means we have to wait for the event to start and then enter Master Notes. The only way to make that go quicker is to enter the Master Notes to get credit for it, and then you can pay coins to finish that potion, start a new potion, enter Master Notes. So if you want to pay coins, do that. Otherwise, I would just recommend going with some healing or extimula potions. Just something with a short duration so that you just stay on top of that. You don't have to be playing the game necessarily during that time. Just make sure you either have your notifications on so you know when a potion's done, or just every couple hours reopen the game, just collect that potion, enter Master Notes for the next one, and then move on from there. Defeat 20 foes in Wizarding Challenges. It's going to get you a Wit Sharpening Potion. It's not a particular type of foe, so you could run Ruins 2 maybe 10 times and get 2 foes at a time and get your 20. Anyway, you're going to do it. You're having to do the Wizarding World Runestones to get the Open Skiving Snack Box. I say you have to. You have to for a task in a bit. But I'll be doing it anyway because that's one that sometimes it's harder to get, and I would love to knock out a whole bunch of those. So I'll probably be running lower chambers where I won't always get it, but I will be running enough that I'm sure I'll just hit 20 foes, just happenstance, while I'm getting Open Skiving Snack Boxes. Next up is to return 25 Lee Jordan Foundables. It's going to get you 6 Snowdrop. He'll be appearing in the wild, tonic for trace detection, increased spawns. If you just walk around and you're just clicking on Wonders of the Wizarding World Foundables, you're going to end up getting a bunch of Lee Jordans anyway. Just keep doing it all day long, and hopefully you get this to get those 6 Snowdrop, which are super useful in Extimulo potions. Return 20 Puking Pastels displays. Again, a Wonders of the Wizarding World Foundable. You'll get 6 Ginger Root for that, which are used on Wit Sharpening Potions, which are mostly useful against adversaries when you're fighting them, and mainly the harder adversaries, certainly. But useful to have Ginger Root if you don't have enough ready. I see them on the ground enough that it's not something that I usually run out of. But anyway, you'll be seeing the Puking Pastels displays. So just, again, if you're walking around during the day, opening up the game, clicking on Foundables, I'm sure you'll hit 20 Puking Pastels if you're playing a decent amount. Probably not if you just played for like an hour. Return 20 Weasley Twins. It's going to get you 2 silver keys, which is nice because we probably all just used a bunch of silver keys from this past event, if you were using silver keys during the event. I used, I think, 9 silver keys, my 1 gold key to get 10, but then after that I actually have just been using my gold key. But anyway, 20 Weasley Twins, meaning you can get one or the other. Again, increased spawn rate, so it doesn't matter which one you're getting, which is kind of nice that they don't have them separate where you're like, oh, I need George and I keep getting Fred. Doesn't matter which one you get, just when you get that number, you're going to get those silver keys. Return 5 Weasley's Flying Car Fragments from port keys or from encounters. It's going to get you 2 healing potions. So if you want to guarantee you get those 5, just get 5 port keys and walk them. You could almost gold key it all day long. I would start early, and if you're moving around, that is. Now again, walking around, still not the greatest time with the Delta variant out and the way COVID is right now, and especially in your area of the world. Not sure how much you can get out, but one nice thing is that I'm hoping that the flying car, even though it doesn't have an increased spawn rate, I'm hoping it is spawning during this event, so I guess I am hoping for an increased spawn rate. But anyway, if you do see the Weasley Flying Car, you can get it from the encounter. It doesn't have to be from the port key. You just need to get this number of fragments. And then last up, as I mentioned before, you need to return 8 open skiving snack box fragments. And the way you're going to do that, again, is to go into fortresses. You're going to get 1 potent extimulo for that, by the way. You're going to go into fortresses. You're going to use Wonders of the Wizarding World Runestones. And whenever you get a drop of that family, which is 50% at Ruins 1, and it's 100%, actually it's 100% at Forest Chamber 4 at this point, because it would normally be dark, but it does scale up. So it's 50%, and then it goes up by a little bit, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, until it gets to Dark 5 at 100%. during normal times. In this case, once you get to Forest 4, you know you're getting them. So if you run lower chambers, you may have to run more, obviously, than 8 to get all these drops. But at least every time you get a drop, you're going to get one of these. So anyway, get those, and you get that potent extimulo. As I said, the tasks obviously are optional during this, and all the rewards I just talked about you could get in other ways. You can brew it yourself, you can pick it up off the ground. There's nothing special there that's only event until you get to the final rewards here, which is if you do all the tasks. You're going to get 3 Defense Against the Dark Arts books, which are only really available, adversaries, and some other stuff. This is a nice guaranteed way where you just know you're getting 3 off the bat. And then 3 spell books, which the red spell books, which normally you would get those from fortresses, and then other events actually put them as rewards. But again, that's really why you would want to finish the tasks, is probably to get those 3 and 3, because it's not something you would normally be getting every day consistently, guaranteed this many. It's nice to be able to just get 3 and 3 right here. So if it's something you still need, that would be a reason to go ahead and get through those tasks to get these, because you probably need them to advance some of your combat trees and skill trees. You're also going to get some wizarding experience, some money, and some spell energy at the end. So all in all, pretty standard community day. Tasks are very similar to what they've been before. Increased foundables, the Forest 4 or higher, a special port key, 1 kilometer. All these things are nothing new if you've been doing community days. Really, you just need to look in your registry under the Wonders of the Wizarding World and kind of see, do you need these foundables? Is this a community day you need? And even if you don't need the foundables, do you want those 3 Defense Against the Dark Art books and 3 spell books? And is the time you would have to put in to complete those tasks, is it worth it to get those? Or would you rather just get them in other ways? Anyway, I hope this video helps you prepare and make it through Community Day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Nox.